Ngozi Schommers. I'm part of the exhibition Textures, the History and Art of Black Hair. I studied painting in art school. I graduated as a painter. And when I left school, I didn't know, already I knew that I had allergies. So I'm allergic to oil and solvent to oil. So I get this horrible, my mouth will swell up and things like that. But because I worked in open, it wasn't so obvious initially, and I couldn't even narrow it down to the material I was using. So by the time I left school, I had already started working. My last semester, I did this, working with dots. I call it dot drawing. I see my work as drawing with paper. So I left school. I have all those dots that I've already pressed, but haven't used them. So I had to find ways to work. I wasn't going to give up art. It's my life, you know. So I started dotting again, but slowly this time. So I dotted the first one, it looked nice. It wasn't also something people embraced immediately. So when I moved, it was at the peak of refugees crisis, when Angela Merkel said refugees were welcome. I'm not a refugee. I moved to Germany based on being married to a German. That's where I get my last name, Schommers, from my husband. So, and I was looking at people and how they had their last belonging, what they had or what was given to them when they are being rescued, the medium that they traveled with, which was their bag that they were having. What is famously known as Ghana Must Go, and some of them even had just bean bags. So traveling through Germany, I will record with my phone and record this. I had very small space, about 2 square meters, not more, where I work, where I use as studio. So I work in this space and created a piece that I recorded these things and edited it into a loop, and had the dots that I've made. It was also, we had this crisis in Nigeria where the 270 something girls were kidnapped, and it took 2 weeks before it could be announced in the international media, which was really annoying, like things happening there not being announced. So I kind of brought these two pieces together to make one work. It was titled Trash. So that's how I started blending media-based or video-based work into my work. It doesn't happen often, depends on how I'm feeling or how I want to express certain feelings. Then I bring this together. I work with other mediums. Now I've always done installation. I do performances, and yeah, so it depends. Yes, when I'm working, we have to first establish that I'm an Igbo woman, a Nigerian, who lived most of her life, my formative life and my adult life were all lived in that space in Nigeria before even moving to Germany. So my work, when I start working, be it invited or maybe I got in through open call, which is international space. So I'm going to think first in that way, like thinking as a Nigerian, thinking things trigger memory. Memory is just a data box, like a box with files in them, and sometimes there are forgotten files. So you might come across something that triggers that memory. It could be music, it could be food, it could be smell, it could be anything, it could be even pain that will trigger a particular memory. But the thing is, I was in this space where I couldn't even buy a hair product that could do my hair or comb that could comb my hair because it's natural hair. So the combs that I got from the usual cosmetic shop or where you buy toiletries, I don't know what you guys call it in America. So they didn't have hair products for my hair, and they didn't have combs for my hair. So I have to find ways to do that, and to do that I have to think of home. I have to think of my mom, like saying little things like, come, let me section your hair and pack it for you. I was little when she said those things or did those things, or sitting and coming back from school and seeing her do other people's hair. She wasn't a professional stylist or even doing it for money, but they bonded. They would sit in our living room right in the center table, and she would do other people's hair, and mostly her friends. So all those experiences and my memory of my mom doing my hair, or even my being with my grandmother, the different styles that she had, maybe tied it up or just her short hair and all those kept on triggering how I'm going to do my hair. It's been 7 years I'm living here. I've been to hair salon once where they took out a chunk and that was it. So I do my hair by myself. I've done just everything by myself for the last 7 years, and I've gotten so good that even when I'm in a space where I could be pampered like Lagos, I still do it myself. So that's how I draw memory into my work. Or you could check my website. There's a work titled The Menu. It was also remembering my mom, my grandmother, and thinking of food, because it has to do with food, and inheriting a box of recipes from my mother-in-law. So I kind of work with this. In that work, I use those and bringing also my culture. So my the thought process starts also with my life in Nigeria and my connection to my family. So. Yeah, I've touched on that, but I'm just going to say this to anybody that is moving to a certain one. I'm a female African artist, a Nigerian artist, moving to a place where they didn't speak English to start with. So you have to find a way to integrate in that space. It took me 3 years to even meet anyone in art scene. So it was a lonely process for me. It was really, there are days I wake up and feel like crying, but I didn't stop making art. I kind of worked when I had free time, because I had to learn to speak German. Art scene is also very vindictive. It's not, we try to think we're very nice people, but the truth of the matter is we live in a world that is driven by popularity and alienation. So it also happens in the art world. So at some point I had to leave that space, but it was good to join them, because joining them I did the menu, which led me being picked for the exhibition that happened at Kunsthalle Bremen. And that was also like fate again, a friend introducing me to, a very good friend introducing me to the curator, a Nigerian, and everything kind of happened. They came, saw my work, and I was selected for the exhibition. So I will say to anybody moving, be open, do even things that might not work. I don't chase exhibitions anymore like I used to. Make sure you attend that opening. I don't do all that. But if you feel that that's what you want to do, do it. There is social media. If you're someone that likes to share every spit they paint, then please put it out there. Tag people. It will annoy them, but maybe someone will see it. Find someone to write about your exhibition or what you're working on. Even if it's a small platform, let them publish it, and hopefully you will get out of your whatever, travel to other cities when you're in that space. Yeah. Mine is to work very hard that I cannot be ignored. In as much as how isolated this space is, whichever one, we might be in the biggest. There are people in Berlin, but they're in bubble. They're living in bubble. They haven't been discovered. They're in that space. So mine is to keep working hard, and hopefully, if the universe says it's going to happen, it will happen.